So, we are going to master summarizing in academic writing. You all have a gentle idea about what is summary, that is about the main idea of the big context. Well, let's see whether it is the main idea, or rather whether you have understood that summary, is it quite right, or else how we can apply it in our context. So the first slide, which you are reading right now, actually tells a simple definition of what is summarizing. It is simply a process of condensing a larger text into its essential ideas, but keep in mind that it has part of the things that we have learned last week. What is it? Paraphrasing. Because the condensed idea of the big text should be put in your own words, in your own version. So in a summary, it's not only grabbing or extracting the main idea, the big idea, condensed, but it has an episode where you all have to engage on what? Converting that into your paraphrase, or rather conversion of that into your own words. So this is really, really important. We have Deshani also joined. Deshani, is it your first name, or rather, is this the first time that you're joining here? Your name is not quite familiar to me. It's all right. Just go ahead. Well, perfect. So, summarizing, as you see, involves not just one thing. It's not just capturing the main idea and main points. And there is a second bullet point, if you can say, you have to demonstrate comprehension, which means there are many ideas which you in your scientific thinking process, within your thinking brain processes, and you understand that, and in which you avoid unnecessary detail. While you're understanding the main text, you realize that these are the main points and these points are supporting the main points, therefore I can keep them aside. So unnecessary detail separation and keeping them aside is part of a cognitive process, is part of your brain process or thinking process. So in summarizing, unlike what you did in last time with paraphrasing, you just convert those words into your own words with different strategies. This time, we are doing that part as well, but on top of that, what we are doing as paraphrasing is to a selected set of information taken from the original text. So selection process is really, really important, right? So you have to capture the main point, you have to comprehend, or rather you have to understand it fully. And upon understanding it fully, you should be able to kick off unnecessary details. I'll be teaching you today what are necessary and what are necessary, so that things will be all sorted, right? So I think you understood, other than your simple, gentle grasp of main idea, which you told is summary, you now understand that it's something bit beyond main idea. Did you get that point, guys? If you have got it, you can send me an emotion in any form. Yeah. Thank you, Siddhika. Thank you, Tariq. You. So summary is something little beyond the main idea. It's about main idea, and it's about your understanding of the main idea, and it's about your understanding of the non-main idea. So having understood that there are details coming in support of the main idea, you keep them aside. And that is your thinking process. And once you decided on what is the main idea, then the paraphrasing process comes. You pick the main idea and you paraphrase that into your own words. So let's see, what else have we got to navigate? Now you must know when and where should we do summarizing. Look, summarizing we do in our writing when we want to refer to a source without quoting extensively. Now, quotations are direct, verbatim copies of the original text and its words. You are not advised to use many quotations, right? When you want to refer to a particular source, particular book, particular knowledge source, without quoting extensively, instead of just getting its main idea in your own version of language, there we use summarizing, right? And not only there, but also imagine that you're going to talk about a particular subject, and that particular subject is spoken or rather written by three separate authors, right? Author A has one perspective on the idea, author B has a different perspective, and author C has a completely uh, hybrid idea of author A and B. Now, when you want to get the ideas of author A, B, and C, you have to understand their ideas and get all three ideas together in a summary form to your writing. I think you now recognize where summary is going to be really scientific, really academic, and really challenging, right? But we are going to make it easy. So when we want to get many sources, many authors, and we are going to integrate, connect all the ideas together, summary is a solution. So look at the third point. To provide background or evidence concisely. Now remember, you want to provide a background to a particular topic by referring to many books, many journal papers, many sources, right? And you want to bring some of the evidences happening in Europe, happening in US, happening in Australia, happening in Asia, and happening in Africa. You want to get evidence from here and there, but you're going to put them in a summary. Yes, these are the instances where we use summary in academic writing. Did you get the point? Now, summary is highly context bound. Did you get the idea, guys? If you have got the idea, just type yes and send to me in your chat, which will make my move easy to the next slide. Thank you, Tariq and Sarani. What about the others? අයනේ නිකන් සර් එක තරහ වෙලා වගේ ආරවට වගේ ඉන්නේ. I'm here to help you all, guys. Thank you, Sitika. Well, and thank you, Veto. Well, let's move on and see what's coming in. Now, one of the key features of our course is we do not simply teach you something. We teach you something, we empower you strategically how to do it. Third, we make it context relevant, which means where, when, and how you can use it. So before you know something, you should know why the hell that you should know it. So that is why we teach you the importance of academic writing and how summarizing is going to be important in academic writing. Now, academic writing is not just a way of getting someone else's idea in your text, but it helps you in many ways. Look at the 4 bullet points. That actually enhances your critical reading, because when you're reading for summary, you look at the main ideas and you distinguish between main idea and the supporting details. You keep aside the supporting details. So this is critical reading, isn't it? And when you compare A, B, Z, and D authors, you critically look at how they define, how A defines, how B defines, how C defines. What is it? You're critically looking at your reading. You see? That enhances critical reading. And this critical reading actually leads to improve clarity of thoughts and your focus. Now, when you're reading, you need to make things clear. And to make things clear, you set aside the supporting details and you get the main idea and you compare A, B, Z and all that. That is critical thinking and reading. With that, you clear the main idea and you keep your focus on the main things, you see. So these are involved of lots of your mental activity, right? When you critically read, when you achieve clarity, and when you keep your focus, and when you adhere, when you align with academic integrity matters, which means, without copying, without simply committing the crime of copying, you get them in a very ethical way so that you show academic integrity. When you embody academic integrity in your writing, you reduce plagiarism risks. So that's why summarizing needs to be learned in a very, what we call, very investing manner, because it's going to help you in many ways. Well, so let's look at how a good summary look like. How a good summary looks like. Look, it focuses on main ideas. You already know that. And you knew it. Second, it omits examples and illustration. Now remember what is omitted, what is removed, what is not taken. They are simply main idea may be given with examples in next couple of lines. So you can avoid examples. And perhaps the main idea could be illustrated further. You can keep aside even illustrations, right? But a summary always keeps a good relationship between points. Now, even between main points, there is a wonderful relationship, and that should be established in your summary, right? And remember, in a summary, you have agency, what we call you have power. Why power? Actually, you read something for a purpose that you have in your own mind. So that your intention, why do you use those knowledge from authors A, B, C, and D and sources A, B, C, and D? That is your intention. You did it for your own purpose, and your summary actually reflects your intention. Why do you take these things into your writing? So, a good summary mainly focuses on the main idea and omits examples and illustrations, but keeps a good relationship between the points. And of course, it shows why do you choose that summary in this particular writing. Did you get it? Did you get the 4 points? Come on. Thank you. Well, with that, we'll move. Now, while you know what are the good practices in a summary writing, you have to know at the same time what are the bad practices, what mistakes you often commit in summarizing. That too needs to be looked at very seriously, right? Now look at the bad things, mistakes. Having too many details is a mistake, yes. Using the same and exact words from the source as it is, yes, that's bad. And if you do not make a clear connection and flow between ideas, which is coherence lacking, that is bad. Huh? And while selecting the main idea and putting that into your own words, if you lose the meaning of the original, that's also a bad idea. So, without losing the idea given by the writer, ensuring there is a good flow between fact A, B, C, and D with good connectivity, without much of the exact original words of the source, avoiding as much as possible unnecessary detail, you can make a good summary, right? It seems there is a question. Oh, is it the case, Sitika, still? Can others see my screen on yours? Tariq, is my screen visible out there? Ah, yes, it's visible. So, Sitika, All right, perfect, perfect. Maybe because sometimes while the data is streaming, sometimes there are lags and delays coming in. Maybe at your end, or yes, I think things are clear now. Right. So let's move on. This is a very simple step-by-step guide how to do a proper summary. What is bullet number one? Read and annotate the original. Now you read, annotate. You know what is annotating? You underline, you mark them in different colors, highlight them, and you choose what is to keep. So you'll be highlighting the things that you are going to keep, right? Not what you're going to not to take in your summary, right? Chatumi, you raised a question. Let me answer that question first. Can't we use the same words in the original text? Do we have to use our own words like paraphrasing? Chatumi, I have two answers for this, yes and no. Yes, we have to put the whole idea into your own wording because paraphrasing is necessarily a part of summary. සමරි එකක් ලියනකොට පුතේ සමරි එකේ වා තෝරගත්ත කොටස පැරෆ්‍රේස් කරන්න ඕනේ. එතකොට ඔයාගේ වචන එන්න ඕනමයි. හරිද? හැබැයි ඒකෙන් අදහස් වෙන්නේ නැහැ ඔරිජිනල් ටෙක්ස්ට් එකේ එක වචනයක්වත් තියෙන්න බෑයි කියලා. උදාහරණයක් විදිහට ඔයා ෆොටෝසින්තසිස් කියන වචනේ ගන්න. ඔයාට ඒක පැරෆ්‍රේස් කරන්න පුළුවන්ද? පුළුවන්. ගොඩාක් වෙලාව යනවා ගොඩාක් වචන යනවා. ටෙක්නිකල් ටර්ම්ස් key terms කියලා જાතියක් තියෙනවා. ඒවා හැමෝම obviously දන්නවා. ඒවට copyrights නෑ. ඒක author A author B ට අයිති වචන නෙමෙයි. ඒක විෂයට අයිති වචන. ඒ වගේ key terminology and jargon you can keep as it is. But අදාළ රචකයාම නැත්තම් when you take someone else's knowledge, you have to first understand it and put into your own version, which we did last time, paraphrasing. Did I answer your question, Chatumi? I think it's a very relevant question because everyone should know this idea. So yes, you have to have your own words as much as possible. You have to paraphrase the whole thing. That's it. But while doing that, you can keep same words like, the key terms, jargon and taxonomy, which is necessary in any subject, right? So that's it. Well, so you read and annotate. That's the first step. And I told you something called thesis and major points. Did I make any point about thesis statement? Do we talk about the introduction and thesis? Do you know what is thesis? Have we discussed this? Can somebody remember it or not? If not, we can actually discuss it here. Chatumi says no idea about the thesis. What about the others? Everyone, please respond me. Do you have any idea what is thesis? Well. Tariq also says no. Okay. What about the others? Deshani also says no. Okay. Where's our good guy, Vetum? Do you have any idea about what is thesis? Okay. None of you do have an idea. Now, I'll stop sharing and we'll discuss what this is. Sitika says yes, just a little idea. Okay. Now you'll be able to see me. This is quite simple. Now, when you take any academic piece of writing, there are unique features inherent to it. What is it? Any academic essay, any academic text typically divides between paragraphs. You know that idea. One paragraph is to give one main idea, right? If you use a simple academic essay, it typically has at least five paragraphs. There is an introductory paragraph at the beginning, and then body paragraphs, typically three, one, second, third, and fourth. And there is a last paragraph, which you call concluding paragraph, right? So introduction, body, and conclusion. In the body, we see typically a couple of paragraphs. So why there is a paragraph break? That is to ensure each paragraph deals with one main idea only. In a single paragraph, you are not going to combine two ideas together. So that is a rule of thumb. When you are writing something, if that something is related to one main theme, you have to put that within one paragraph. Got the point? And if it is something else which is not relevant to this particular idea, you have to use a second paragraph. Did you get the point? Okay. Okay. Now, in your any academic essay, on top of or at the beginning of any academic essay, we set something called introductory paragraph. Now, in any academic essay, mage pote, introductory paragraph serves for a very critical purpose. What is it? Unlike in everyday writing that we do in other fields, in STEM writing, particularly academic writing, introductory paragraph simply gives the reader an idea about what you are going to write in the paper. මේක සිංහලෙන් මම කියන්නම්කෝ එතකොට තේරෙයි. පුතේ academic writing වල අපි අපේ පාඨකයා අර කුතුහලය දනවමින් එයා එහාට මෙහාට පද්දමින් එයාට කාරණේ කෙලින් කියන්නේ නැතුව හොහෙන් ඔරෝ කියමින් යන්නේ නැහැ. academic writing වල කරන්නේ අපි කතා කරන්නේ කුමක්ද කුමක් පිළිබඳවද කොයි සීමාව තුලද කියන පණිවිඩේ අපි ලියන රචනාවේ introductory paragraph එකේ දෙනවා. එහෙම දෙන්නේ ඇයි? අපි අපේ පාඨකයාත් එක්ක කරන්නේ crystal clear communication ගනුදෙනු. ඔයා දන්නවා මොකද්ද crystal clear communication කියන්නේ කියලා? ඔයාගේ හිතේ තියෙන අදහස ඒ විදිහටම ඔයා පාඨකයාට දෙනවා. ඔයාගේ රීඩර්ට දෙනවා. එහෙම දෙන්න නම් ඔයා මුලින්ම කියන්න ඕනේ මොකක් ගැන මොන සීමාව තුල මොන වපසරියකද ඔයා මේ කතා කරන්නේ කියන එක මුලින්ම ඉඟි කරන්න ඕනේ ඔයාගේ පාඨකයාට. මම ඒක ඉංග්‍රීසියෙන් පැහැදිලි කරන්න ඕනේ වේද? තාරික් ඔයාලට තේරුණාද පුතේ මම කියපු දේ? right. මගේ සිංහල බර වැඩි නෑනේ නේද? මං හිතන්නේ නෑ මගේ සිංහල හෝ ඉංග්‍රීසි දෙකෙන් එකක්වත් බර වැඩි කියලා. මං බොහොම සරලව කතා කරන්න තමයි උත්සාහ කරන්නේ. perfect. perfect. then අපි ඕනම academic writing එක introductory passage එකේ කියනවා මේ essay එක තුල මේ article එක තුල මේ study එක තුල මෙන්න මේ දේවල් මෙන්න මේ පදනමේ ඉඳලා සාකච්ඡා කරනවාය කියලා අපි අපේ essay එකේ road map එක indicate කරනවා. අපේ article එකේ road map එක අපි introductory paragraph එකේ indicate කරනවා. දැන් මම කියපු කාරණේ තේරුණාද? We actually will come to detailed discussion of all this next week, but I'm giving you a brief outline. So, එතකොට introductory paragraph එකේ විශේෂයෙන්ම අවසානයට කලින් බොහෝ විට introductory paragraph එකේ අන්තිම වාක්‍ය 3-4 ඇතුලේ තමයි මේක තියෙන්නේ. ඒ වාක්‍ය 3-4 ඇතුලේ වා කියනවා ඔයා මේ රචනාව තුල මේ ආටිකල් එක තුල කතා කරන්නේ මොනවා ගැනද? මොන සීමාවේ ඉඳන් මොන ප්‍රධාන කාරණා ගැනද කියලා සටහනක් තියෙනවා. ඔන්න ඕක තමයි පුතේ අපි thesis කියලා කියන්නේ introductory paragraph එකේ. තේරුණාද what is thesis? එතකොට ඇකඩමික් එසේ එකක් කියවගෙන යද්දි ඔයා ඉන්ට්‍රොඩක්ෂන් එකේ අනිවාර්යයෙන්ම අඳුර ගන්න ඕනේ මේන් පොයින්ට් එක. ඒක තියෙන්නේ කොතනද? thesis එකේ. When you detected where the thesis statement comes, yes, you have got the idea of that paragraph. කාරණේ පැහැදිලිද පුතේ? දැන් මතක තියාගන්න ඉන්ට්‍රොඩක්ටරි පැරග්‍රාෆ් එකේ thesis statement එකේ දෙනවා මේවා තමයි මම මේ essay එක ඇතුලේ කතා කරන්න කියලා අයිඩියා එකක්. ඒ දීපු අයිඩියා එකේ දීපු ප්ලෑන් එකට තමයි අපි essay එක ඕගනයිස් කරන්නේ. දැන් thesis එකේ අපි දීපු පළවෙනි ෆැක්ට් එක අපි ගන්නවා අපේ බොඩි පැරග්‍රාෆ් වල ඊළඟ පැරග්‍රාෆ් එකේ මේන් අයිඩියා එක විදියට. right? ඒතර thesis statement එකේ අපි කියපු දෙවෙනි ෆැක්ට් එක අපි මේ say for example we are going to write about the education of Sri Lanka. ඔන්න මගේ essay එකේ මාතෘකාව. right? මම මගේ thesis statement එකේ මෙහෙම එකක් කියලා. මම introduction එක ගන්නවා education කියන්නේ මොකක්ද ඒ දේවල් කියලා. මම මේ thesis එක විතරයි කියන්නේ. මම thesis එකේ කියනවා in this essay I'll be having a historical view at education system to understand the roots of education, which will lead to evaluate today's practice of education, from which I'll be predicting where education will be leading in the future. දැන් මගේ thesis statement එකේ ඔයාලට මම පෙන්නනවා මගේ essay එක organize වෙන්නේ කොහොමද කියලා. ඔයගොල්ලෝ ඔක්කොම කියන්නේ නම් මගේ essay එකේ මම education ගැන කතා කරන්න හදන මුඛ්‍ය තුන් කාරණා තුන මොනවද කියලා ටක් ගාලා මට ටයිප් කරලා එවන්න. මම දැන් කිව්වා. ඔය දැන් මගේ thesis statement එක detect කරා නම් ටක් ගාලා ගත්තා. right? For your ease, I'll tell my thesis statement once again. right? So I will say like this. This is my thesis statement. right? Try to detect what are the main ideas or rather what comes in this essay. In this essay, I'll be having a glimpse at the history of education to see how it evolved up to now and will lead to a discussion of present practice of education from which I'll be predicting the future of education. This is my thesis statement. Pick up what I will be talking in this particular essay. Come on. Perfect, Tariq. You grabbed it. Sithika, you picked just one. There were two more. Chatubi, you picked two. There is one more. Come on, everyone, please. Vetum, Deshani, come on. Did I mess your day? No, I don't think. Well, Chatumi, what I said is you picked only 2 points. There is one more point. Friends, others, please respond. What did you see? What included in my thesis statement? I talked about 3 facts. Tariq grasped all 3. Sithika grasped 1 and Chatumi grasped 2. What about the others? Come on. Do I need to tell my thesis statement again for the others to detect? මම ආයෙම thesis statement එක කියන්න ඕනද කියලා කියන්න. එහෙම වුණොත් මම කියන්නම්. අනික කාට අඳගන්න. Okay, okay. So I'll be telling for the one last time what is the thesis statement of my topic, right? Essay. Well, here's the thesis. In this essay, I'll be having a glimpse at the history of education up to now to see how it evolved so far, leading to a discussion on present day practice of education. This basis will give me room to predict what might come in future in education. Chatumi, you grasp it? Once again, you missed one point. History of education, how it evolved is not two things, it's the same, right? So everyone quickly respond me. Sitika? Yes, you grasp it. Okay. Vetum, you grasp it. So, මෙන්න මේ විදිහට පුතේ හැම academic essay එකකම introductory paragraph එකේ towards the end ඒගොල්ලෝ දෙනවා ethic එකක් විදිහට it's a principle, right? It's a grounding principle in academic writing. They provide you with something called thesis. Thesis එක ඇතුලෙන් අපිට හොයාගන්න පුළුවන් මේ essay එකේ කතා කරන්නේ මොනවද කියලා. Now in this essay, it's about the history, it's about the present, and it's about the future. So in my essay, I'll be talking about history, present, and future, right? Then නිකමට හිතන්න ඔයාට guess කරගන්න පුළුවන් what would I be talking in the second paragraph of my essay. The පළවෙනි paragraph එකේ introduction එකනේ මම දෙවෙනි එකේ මොකක් කතා කරයිද? අනිවාර්යයෙන්ම මොකක් ගැනද මම කතා කරන්නේ? history අන්න තේරුම් ගන්න. දැන් ඔයාලට පේන්න ඕනේ thesis statement එකක් තියෙනවා introductory paragraph එකේ. thesis statement එකේ අපි hot spots ටිකක් දෙනවා. key highlighting points ටිකක්. ඒ points ටික තියෙන order එකට අපි organize කරනවා අපේ essay එකේ ඊළඟ paragraph series එක. Right? So we'll be jumping from thesis statement to the first paragraph. So in the first paragraph, අපි මුලින්ම ලියනවා first paragraph එකේ පළවෙනි sentence එක. අපි ඒකට කියනවා topic sentence කියලා. Topic sentence එකේ අපි refer කරනවා අපි thesis statement එකේ ලියපු පළවෙනි කාරණයට. ඔන්න මගේ essay එක නම් I would say to grasp a better understanding of education system in Sri Lanka, it is always worth to have how it has evolved from Pirivena days to free education system through its history. දැන් මම topic sentence එකේ කියන්නේ මොකද්ද පුතේ? මම thesis එකේ කියපු පළවෙනි කාරණය කෙලින්ම link කරනවා මෙතෙන්ට. Right? දැන් එතකොට ඔයාලට පේන්න ඕනේ හැම essay එකකම thesis statement එකක් තියෙනවා introduction එකේ. thesis statement එකේ කිසියම් road map එකක් දීලා තියෙනවා essay එකට. ඒ road map එක follow කරමින් sentence paragraphs break කරලා තියෙනවා. paragraphs වල හැම වෙලේම ආරම්භක paragraphs වල අර thesis statement එකේ කියපු කාරණේ relate කරන circuit connectivity එකක් හදලා තියෙනවා. Did you get the point? එතකොට ඔයා main ideas කියලා pick up කරන්න පුතේ thesis statement එක introductory paragraph එකේ then the topic sentence in each paragraph which connects the main idea. And perhaps what salient other aspects within the paragraph. එතකොට paragraph එකක තියෙන main idea එකයි ඒකට අදාළ කාරණා ගොඩාක් විස්තර කරලා උදාහරණ දීලා පැහැදිලි කරලා තියෙන්න පුළුවන්. නමුත් ඒ සියල්ලේ සාරාංශය තමයි ඔයා ගන්නෙ summary එක විදියට. Did you get the point? Yes. එහෙනම් තේරෙනවද පුතේ මේක කිසියම් රටාවක්. මේ රටාව අඳුරගත්තට පස්සේ මේක මහා ලොකු වැඩක් නෙමෙයි. තේරුණාද? මෙන්න මේ රටාව හරියටම negotiate කරගෙන අඳුනගත්තට පස්සේ වාට academic text grasp කරගන්න එක summary ලියන එක ඒකෙන් තොරතුරු ගන්න එක අමාරු නෑ. අනිත් ළමයාගේ වචනෙන් වචනේ කියවිය තේරුම් බල බල නටන්න ඕන නෑ. You know where information comes and you grasp them, you highlight them and you get the summary. Do you like to give me a thumbs up for the very secret you learned right now? Isn't that a good thing to know all these strategies? Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Well, let us go back to our slides now. So we were in the second point. Identify the theses and major points. So you know what comes in thesis, where it comes, and what it gives. Is the step 2 clear? Yes. Then when you get the thesis and when you go to the paragraph and you get the major point, right? You know what is to keep. Now what happens? My annotations දිගේ අපි යනවා draft in your own words. Now you 3 and 4 steps එකට ගන්න ඕනේ පොතේ. එක තමයි එක line එකේ තියලා තියෙන්නේ. Remove examples and repetitions. You take what are the major points and from major points you remove examples and repetitions. සමහර definition repeat වෙනවා, examples repeat වෙනවා, examples එක එක දෙනවා. ඒවා අයින් කරනවා main idea එක ගන්නවා. අරගෙන you decide now what you are going to get. It has a lot, but from which you get the main idea alone, right? And then what you have to do is main idea එක ගත්තට පස්සේ you have to re-synthesize, write it in your own words, right? ලියලා ඉවරුණාට පස්සේ ඔන්න අන්තිම ස්ටෙප් එක එනවා. ඔයා මේක කෙනෙකුගේ දෙකින් ගත්තේ. එහෙමනම් you have to properly cite from where you took it, right? Citation is also part of the summary. Got it? Did you see how methodically are we progressing in a summary? You read and annotate the original, you identify the thesis and major points, right? You remove examples and repetitions and pick the main idea and draft it in your own words, simply paraphrase, right? And then you cite appropriately. Got it? Those are the steps of a proper what? Order of a summarizing. Did you get it, guys? I wish yes. Yeah. Mana doubts තියාගන්න එපා පුතේ. We have to clear all the doubts and move, right? Well, let's move on to see what. Now we are looking at different strategies where we can master summarizing, right? What are these strategies? Grouping related ideas is a strategy. Now, මං කියවනේ reading කියන එක පුතේ critical practice එකක් කියලා. ඔයාට එකම ජාතියේ අදහස් එනකොට ඒවා ඔක්කොම එකට group කරනවා. උදාහරණයක් විදිහට if you look at a definition, person A's definition on it, person B's definition on it, person C's definition on it, you group them together as definitions, right? And when you are grouping them together, you don't need to tell A, B, and C separately. You can say A told this and B said the same thing with one more addition. So you don't need to tell what A said, what B agreed from A. You can simply say B moved A's idea into this level. You see? So you group main ideas, right, into a single summarizing sentence. Look at the example. Study A show class attendance correlates positively with academic performance. Study B shows, study C shows. So without going for study A says this, B says this, and C says this, we say several studies, and within brackets we give which studies. This, and that. Class attendance correlates positive with academic performance. You don't need to worry about this example sentence, but this is how we take things together, right? So we combine sources into, similar ideas into one, and we make a single summarizing sentence, right? That is one of the strategies. What is it? Related ideas were taken together. Got the point? Well, that is the first strategy. The second strategy is rephrasing main ideas. Now, main ideas are given in the thesis statement and topic sentences. Can you remember them? Yes. Major points in your essay, you have to reward them. You have to give them a recognition, right? But still, you can use your own structure. Original meaning is there. In your own structure, you reward. Say, for example, book A might be giving a huge weight on defining the concept. Book B might be dealing with the same concept in application, right? Book C might be looking at questioning some of the applications. Now you see, in the three books, you reward main points, particularly the definitions, providing these with definitions. And second, you look at how it is used and so on. So what you have to do is rephrase main ideas that you took from each source, or rather each paragraph. Instead of researchers claim that stress reduces focus, right? Stress impairs concentration, researchers. Now, you know the paraphrasing strategies, right? You can go on synonym change, you can go on antonym, you can change the structure, you can convert from active to passive, you can, change the word order, right? Things like that. You do that to ensure that you are not writing the self-same thing that you grasped from the source. I wish you got it, right? Well, with that, the second strategy is clear, and we are moving to the third strategy. That is it. Summarizing example. Look at this example. Sleep and health. Now, this topic is between sleep and health, right? Look at Stephenson and Abbott's studies. Stephenson, what he says? Stephenson reports that disrupted sleep in women over 50 results in fatigue and productivity loss. So one study says, which is by Stephenson, what he says? Disrupted sleep in women over 50, that makes them fatigue and their productivity is lessened. Look at the second study, Abbott, 2000. He supports Stephenson's idea, right? Now see what he does. Linking poor sleep to higher health risks. Abbott says poor sleep leads to higher health risks. Now, doesn't this support Stephenson's idea? Yes. Together they highlight sleep's role in women's health. Now see, Stephenson found one thing. Abbott found something in addition to what Stephenson found. And of course, we bring it to a concluding note. What is it? Both Stephenson and Abbott, they highlight there is a very critical role of sleep on women's health. You see, this is how you have to coordinate ideas from sources A, B, C, and D, and how you can make them part of your own writing. Did you get the point I taught here? Give me an emotion. I received just one. Thank you. Thank you. Perfect. Let's move on. Look at the second example. Now here, the topic is different. Career impacts of university majors. Now, you take a major field in your study, maybe chemistry, physics, and so on, or other engineering, technology, or whatever, right? Major and career impacts, how it helps in career. Now, Roberts 2002 finds one thing. What's it? Robert finds non-STEM graduates face more stress and health issues due to limited job prospects. Now, non-STEM graduates have stress and health issues. You know why? They have very little job opportunity. That is Robert's finding. So, what the second bullet point says, these findings suggest universities should inform students about career impacts in their field of study. What does it say? If you choose a STEM degree, you have much more roles to perform in future. If you choose non-STEM fields, you'll have to face a big competition because there are very little things. So that You bring your own summary idea. That's it. These findings suggest universities inform students about career impacts in their field of study. Now you see, summary is not about simply reporting what different researchers say. It's about bringing your intention into the writing as well. Now here you intend to tell that what universities should do is something that you understood out of reading text A, B, and C. Did you get the point? Did you get the point, my dear kids? Yes. Thank you. Let's move. We are now going to do a writing practice activity. Take a piece of paper, pen or pencil, get ready with, right? Do not try to get the help of ChatGPT or any other. Try it by yourself because ChatGPT can do it at any time, but at this very time where you and me are practicing our skills, try it manually, right? Okay. Okay. Write a summary on aviation safety. Now you have an idea. This particular summary is about aviation safety. Aviation is all about, traveling sky, right? Okay. Air traveling and its safety. Now what you're supposed to do is read the paragraph and write two-sentence summary focusing on pilot error and its impact on domestic air safety. Now look at pilot error, air safety, the impact of each other. Those are things that you have to keep in mind. Now you are going to read the paragraph. Are you ready with your pens and pencils? I think yes. If you're ready, yes. We can move on to the sentence. Here we go. Here's the passage. Read it. Take 5 minutes and bring into two-sentence summary of the whole idea. I'm going to be silent for 5 minutes, giving you the chance to do it. And once you're done, send it in your chat. Clear? Yes. මේ යාළුවෝ මෙච්චර වෙලාව ගන්න ඇයි? Only 2 submissions were reached by me. What's wrong at your end? Now you've taken nearly 20 plus minutes to do this summary. I'm receiving the third summary. That is from Tariq. Okay. 2 more to send their summaries, and some of you සමහර අය මග ඇරලත් ගිහිල්ලා පන්තිය. හරි නරක ළමයි ටිකක් නේ මෙතන ඉන්නේ. Sitika, you have sent yours. I've received 4 summaries. අනිත් එක්කන drop කරලා ගිහිල්ලා. හරි shock. Okay, no worries. I have all 4 summaries with me, and I'm now going to show you my example summary. With that, you can do a simple what you call comparison of what you did, and you can do a simple, have a simple assessment of your own work. Shall I show the example summary? Here comes it. You see, pilot error is the leading cause of domestic air crashes. Better training could help reduce these incidents. You see, there are 2 major points that you have to pick. Pilot error is the leading cause. Better training could reduce the incidents. Well, now you can compare your first summary with this summary, and I'll be giving you insights on what you have done. I'll post it. I'll post it on Moodle because I have copied all 4 summaries you sent. And I think it is a must for you all to receive a feedback on what you did, right? So that is the first summary on aviation safety. Let us move to the next. Now, learning from the previous, summarize the paragraph on attendance, engagement, and academic performance. Focus on how attendance contributes to learning outcomes. You can see the full passage. And you can do the practice activity. Now, guys, I am not going to actually take these couple of practice activities here as in-class activities because my time is little limited. So I'll show you through the 2 activities I was planning. One thing is on this human treats to pandas and this practice activity. And I have already uploaded the slides to Moodle. And without looking at the sample summary, I'm inviting you to do your own summary and compare it with the sample summary given in the slides and do practice this at home, right? And let me move to the last part of the session today, right? Summarizing strategy. This is actually the third strategy that we are practicing. Now, this is about compress multiple factors into a single coherent idea. Now, you can take factors from author A, author B, author C, article A, B, C, and so on. But you're going to compress, get them all involved in a one idea, right? Look at this example, please. Urban expansion, climate change, and tourism. There are 3 aspects. All contribute to habitat destruction in endangered species. Now, here, on endangered species, how their habitats were destructed is discussed in 3 essays. One discusses mainly about how urban expansion kills their habitats. The other, how climate changes change it. Maybe in a third, tourism. Now, what you're going to do in your summary is you're getting all the 3 aspects because they are all connected. They all talk about how habitat destruction happens, right? So you get them all in a one condensed, complex sentence. I think the idea is clear. So summarizing, as you see, is not typically a writing activity. It is actually a critical, active reading comprehension activity. You will see. When you're critically and analytically reading the things, you see main ideas, and of course, you combine them and you craft your own version of it. This is actually Putha academic engagement with texts. So, this is what we want you to practice with summarizing. Well, now you must be thinking last week we practiced paraphrasing and today we practice summarizing. How can you compare and contrast the two concepts? Look at the two comparisons here. Summary is a condensed content focusing on main ideas, right? So it is about condensing content. So you can take author A, B, C, and D. If their ideas are similar, you can get them all together. But in a paraphrase, what happens is recites the same length using different words. In a paraphrase, what happens is you take the original and in the same length, you write it in your own words. You see, there is a condensing in the first, which is summary. No such a condensing in paraphrase. But when you take your own summary, when you put that into your own words, that's also paraphrasing, right? But keep in mind, in both comparison, in both summary and paraphrasing, in both cases, you have to give the citation, in-text citation and end citation. Did you get the point, guys? තේරුණාද මගේ පුතේ? I wish you guys did. Any questions? Any questions? Okay. And with that, I'm giving you in the slides, it is there, a full big passage on which you have to write a summary. Yes, Chatumi asks a question. Can we add our own opinion at the end of the summary as it did? Okay. That's a very good question, Chatumi. Your own opinion at the end of the summary. Now remember, summary has to be placed separately, cited it, and next to that, you can interpret it in any way you like because you are taking a summary for a different purpose in your writing, right? That purpose has to be proven by, you can add your own opinion on it, right? Yes. I think that's a very good question that Chatumi raised and which is something really, really important in academic writing. Well, any other questions? So I'll be uploading all this to Moodle. It is already uploaded. So you can follow through the slides and do the exercises even there. And I'll place a window where you can upload it. With that, I'm going to ask from you whether you have got any questions. Are there anything that we need to further discuss here? Now it is time for Vetum, Tariq, Sitika, and Chatumi to tell me how today's learning have shaped your STEM journey, how it's gonna change, shape, mold, or perhaps destroy your writing, reading identity as a STEM practitioner. Now take 1 minute or rather 1 second and tell me how you felt it. This time, I think Tariq will start telling how you felt today's session and how well these things are shaping your life. Tariq, it's over to you.
Summarizing will be helping in my academic journey when we have to do research papers and reading activities or presentation like things, and we have to put others ideas like some cited ones and everything in our own words and wording style without plagiarizing it and affecting the academic integrity, and uh, in a style where we can project our own ideas next to them, and it will be helping in future.
Thank you, Tariq. Can I hear from Vetum? Vetum, I'm waiting for you. Vetum may be having an issue with mic. He sent it improves our reading skill, critical thinking. Okay, thank you. Can I hear from Sitika? Sitika, it's over to you.
So it helps to get the main idea, and it it is not the thing that I was thinking before summarizing until you explain the whole idea about summarizing. So I think it will be helpful for my journey.
Thank you, Sitika. I'm glad that I have extended your idea of what is a summary. I'm glad on that. Thank you. And Chatami, can I hear from you today?
සර් මං කියන්න හිටපු ටික තමයි අර දෙන්න කිව්වේ මම
කමක් නැහැ පුතේ. ඔයාලට දැනෙච්ච දේ කියන්න. ඒකම වුණත් කමක් නැහැ. Chatami, did you learn something new? Yes. Don't worry, Chatami. Speak in Sinhala. It's all right.
ඔව් සර් ඇත්තටම එක ගොඩක් හොඳයි මේ අලුත් දෙයක් ඇත්තටම මේ ගොඩාක් ලොකු මේ ටෙක්ස්ට් එකක් කියවලා අපිට ඕන දේවල් ඇත්තටම මේ පහසුවෙන් එකතු කරගන්න පුළුවන් වෙනස් තැන් වලින් ඇත්තටම අලුත් දෙයක්.
Right. Thank you very much, guys. Now, I actually set aside some of the homeworks for you to do on your own. They are appearing in slides. Slides වල එනවා ඒ homework ටික. ඒ ටික කරන්න මම ඒවා upload කරන්න window එකක් open කරන්න. අපි ලබන සතියේ හම්බෙමු. මතක තියාගන්න අද exercise එකෙන් පස්සේ මම කිව්වා වගේ test එකක් set කරනවා. මම ඒක ගැන වෙලා ඇතුව කල් වේලා ඇතුව දැනුම් දෙන්නම් time frame එකයි ඒ දේවල්. අපි ලබන සතියේ හම්බෙමු. Thank you very much, Pute, for your time and patience. I wish that I'm helping you all to improve yourselves as evolving STEM writers and readers. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.